So this is our fourth 7 deadly sin, and the fourth 7 deadly sin is risk overload. When I first see my mining and trading and FIFO clients, we talk about what would happen if they could no longer work. And a key theme that seems to come up is that their families would be often quite stuffed if they stopped working, if they didn't have their income coming in. You know, debts are high, the budget is extended, and if the income stops, then all of a sudden everything grinds to a halt. So if that sounds like you probably have what we call risk overload. Ultimately, the thing that worries me most about this in particular with my mining and my FIFO and my trading clients is, you know, ultimately if something bad happens, they can lose everything. Mortgage gets called in, the bank forecloses on the loan, and all of a sudden, you know, you're borrowing money or something along those lines from friends and family to try and pay back the bills. Or all of a sudden, you know, there's just not enough coming in to actually live off, and things get really, really tight, and things can get really, really embarrassing. At the end of the day, it's really hard to find out what is the right amount of risk protection for you, and working out how to actually protect your family in the event of these sorts of things happening without spending a huge amount of money. It's really confusing, and it's really hard to work out, you know, how much insurance do you need, whether it's for your cars or your boats or your homes or your income or your life. You know, what is the appropriate amount of money to pay, and how should you actually be making those payments? They're all really hard things to try and work out. And then there's an element of tax to it. So it's no wonder that it gets put into the too hard basket, and we often forget to realistically look at these things. At Wealthion, we have our Money Mastery Guide, which we run through all of our clients in terms of protecting their family, protecting their legacy, so that way they have wills and those sorts of things, and making sure that they actually create a safety net for themselves and their family, so that way they can avoid that risk overload in the event of something bad happening. It's a small amount of time, and it's really simple sort of process, and it doesn't cost really that much as much as people think it does, to make sure that, you know, in the event of something like this happening, you're completely covered and you don't have to worry about where your next meal is coming from. So if you feel like your family aren't protected as well as they should be, or you aren't protected as well as you should be, or essentially all of your assets aren't protected as well as they should be, I want you to click the link below, like the Facebook page, and download our Money Mastery Guide, so that way you can have a look at the 9-step process that we run through with our clients to make sure that they do have a safety net, and to make sure that they're avoiding that risk overload. So I'm Chris from Wealthion. I hope you take care of yourself, especially if you've got a lot of risk, and look, I'll hopefully speak to you really soon.